Following a prolonged power outage, the price of flashlights normally increases significantly. If cities had passed laws prohibiting price increases for flashlights, during power outages such laws most likely blank. So, we're told in this question that there's a power outage, and that after such a power outage, the price of flashlights increases significantly. And it also says that because of this, the city has passed laws prohibiting price increases for flashlights. And we're asked to find what the laws would most likely cause or do. So we can answer this question by drawing out a simple graph, where price is on the y-axis and quantity of goods is on the x-axis. And this would be a simple supply and demand graph, where this is supply, this is demand. So we're told in the first sentence that the price of flashlights normally increases significantly, and this is because the demand increases. Because after a power outage, there's little light and people want flashlights to see. Therefore, demand will shift to the right because of this power outage, and this would cause the increase in price. But in this case, it says the city has passed laws prohibiting price increases. This means that they implemented a price control, and in this case that would be a price ceiling, which would be, let's set an arbitrary price ceiling right here. I'll call that PC for price ceiling. And this would then cause a limit on the price that producers can set for the flashlights. And we're asked to find what this would do. So looking at this graph, we can see that the equilibrium point would normally be here. This would be the point where the supply curve intersects with the altered demand curve, or shifted demand curve. So this would relate to an output right here, and this price. But in this case, the suppliers cannot set a price up here, because the government set a price control here, below the equilibrium. So the price is lower than it is normally in the equilibrium. So because of this, the suppliers would produce a number of flashlights set at this point, but demand would be for this point, because this is where the demand intersects the price ceiling, and this is where the supply intersects the price ceiling. So this distance between the demand curve and the supply curve here represents a shortage, because demand would be greater than supply. This is resulting in a shortage, because people want to buy the good, but there isn't enough supply for that good. So if you look at the answer choices, we can clearly see that this would match answer choice B. But let's look at the other choices. A, make flashlights more available. This is incorrect because this simply doesn't make sense, and there's nothing that can be done to make flashlights more available. So A would be incorrect. C, shift the demand curve for flashlights to the right. This is incorrect because the prolonged power outage would cause the demand curve to be shifted to the right. The laws prohibiting price increases would not do this. They would simply cause a shortage, because demand would then be greater than supply. So C is incorrect. D, shift the supply curve for flashlights to the left. This is incorrect because this wouldn't shift the demand curve to the left. The laws wouldn't shift the demand or the supply curve at all. This would simply cause the price ceiling to be put into effect and cause the demand for the flashlights to be greater than supply for flashlights. So D is incorrect. E, have no effect on the availability of flashlights. This is incorrect because this would not make sense, because this would simply doesn't make sense, because this wouldn't have no effect on the availability of flashlights. This would just cause a change in the price and an increase in the demand for flashlights as compared to the supply. So E would be incorrect, and the correct answer is B.